Boom. Head Movement TV. And we are inviting you to join us on a session of Watch Your Mouth, yeah? Walla yalla mala.
Walla yalla mala.
Man need to watch their mouth from me, you know. So obviously now we're going to cover MMA, UFC, the potential match of Khabib versus Conor McGregor. So what do we think the possibilities of this fight and the outcome of this fight?
So I reckon it might be happening next now. For a while I thought it might not. He might be fighting Diaz first. Okay. And Khabib fight probably Poirier or maybe Kevin Lee. Yeah. That looks like it's not happening. Kevin Lee is not getting no smoke at the moment. Poirier's still there, obviously after beating Alvarez. And McGregor's come out and spoke that he's training. He's going to be back fighting soon, and it's more time going to be in Vegas, which would make you think it's going to be the biggest fight in UFC history. And obviously Conor McGregor and Khabib's the biggest fight there's ever been, I think, in MMA. I think that will be close to boxing records. I'm talking Pacquiao, Mayweather numbers. Maybe not like come close to breaking them, but anything below that. Yeah. Not too far off Floyd and Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, okay. I would think, because of how big it is, because of obviously the Mad Dolly incident and all the drama, the footage that UFC already have got without any promo is it's already mad.
Definitely, so. Because obviously Khabib's gonna have Russia behind him, the same way Conor McGregor's gonna have Ireland behind him. Then you've got all the casual fans and all the diehard fans as well.
And obviously, Conor McGregor's got a lot of fans in Russia. Not everyone in Russia loves Khabib.
More than Khabib, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah, I think definitely.
Yeah. So Khabib's got a massive amount of fans, but it's a mad thing in Russia as well for Conor. Conor's a superstar there. MMA's massive in Russia. So.
And what do you think on the actual outcome?
That's what I was going to ask you. What did you think? You didn't give us your outcomes. Ooh. I think. Honestly, it's just going to play down to one or two things. If Conor can manage to keep it standing, I think Khabib, it's going to look like he's drowning on the feet. I think the level of stand-up between the two of them, especially hands, it's going to look like the same as if Khabib got a hold of Conor, if you know what I'm saying. So everybody's worried about Khabib getting a hold of Conor. I just think it plays out. If he can take him down, then he'll take him down all fight. He'll smack. It'll look like the other fights, the Barbosa fight, you know, stuff like that. But if he can't take him down, I think it could be over very quick. I think it could be like, which I think is Conor's only chance to win. I can't see Conor going.
Few minutes.
Yeah, you see how like he beat Diaz 3-2 on 3-2 in the rounds on points. I can't see him beating Khabib 3-2 on points. I think Conor only wins by stoppage. Submissions, it could only be like if I think he submits him, it would only be a choke after he drops him or something like that. Yeah. I mean, like, but he only wins like that. He isn't gonna take him the full 5 rounds, 25 minutes, and Conor's won on points. That's not the way I see the fight going. If it goes to points, I think if it goes to points, it's not gonna have been a good fight for Conor. No matter how it ends up.
Will it go to points? Like, the way I look at it is, obviously we saw when Conor McGregor was fighting against Nate Diaz, anytime Nate Diaz hit the canvas, Conor McGregor wouldn't even entertain going into that danger zone.
Yeah, but that was more jiu-jitsu based than it with Diaz, like in your guard style, whereas Khabib's not really jiu-jitsu based. He's more dominant positions than like, we haven't even saw him. We haven't saw him off his back, have we? Ever, like, in anything other than training?
Whenever he's off his back in training,
has anybody ever
trying to get on top?
Yeah.
Taking him down.
Probably early days. Have you seen it?
I can't remember if
you watch his early fights, you see him taking people down and people getting up, and you know, it wasn't as bad as.
No, because I don't think he's more of a pressure fighter where it just becomes too much, and he might fail his first takedown, might fail his second takedown, but then once the third takedown's got you, that's it. Like you wore out. You can't stop any of the other takedowns after that. You know, you're
just
struggling.
Getting up from one takedown. Will finish your whole fight. See, the thing is, at first I thought Conor McGregor had a big advantage because of Khabib's ego. You know, Khabib has wanted to stand and trade with a lot of these fighters.
Quinta.
I'm not gonna do my Ali jab.
He's calling.
Where was I when he was throwing this Ali jab? I must have went toilet or switched channel or something. I did not see no Ali jab. No chance. I thought that would be the case where Conor McGregor would have an advantage because Khabib would wanna show the world I can stand and trade with this guy. But recently, he released that interview saying, "You think I'm stupid? I'm not going to stand."
Laughing it off.
But even that, I think people underestimated Iaquinta because I was happier to see Iaquinta fight him and felt like that was a more dangerous fight them fighting Holloway after a few days.
All day.
Yeah, like it wasn't. But I don't think because Iaquinta's got a lot of history of the UFC. Just in general, if you go back and you see his history, he's had a lot of quite a lot. Yeah. So I think that's why people haven't actually saw the best of Iaquinta. But I think Iaquinta's better than a lot of these. You know, the lightweights that are about now.
It was a hard fight for Khabib.
On an opponent change as well. That quick, like it was like watching when McGregor had to adjust to the Mendes one after Aldo, you know, like it's a change of style, and only champions do it, true champions, because a lot of people just pull out and say I won't fight. Like Ortega, even though he may not have been fighting for the actual bout, you never know if he would have accepted the fight when Holloway pulled out. It might have been for an interim title or something. He didn't want an interim belt. He's saying interim belt. But he's saying it's worth nothing. But
better than nothing, isn't it?
Better than nothing. You still getting you still get the pay-per-view points and that you don't get if you're not an interim champion.
The thing is, Dana's quite harsh that if you lose them fights, and if you lose a fight where someone's coming overweight or last minute, you don't look after them.
Yeah, no, like, most definitely. But this is the chances that Conor and Khabib and that take. You know what I'm saying? Khabib could have not took the Iaquinta fight. He could have not took it. He didn't have to take it. Conor didn't have to fight Diaz. Conor didn't have to fight Mendes. But then people want the money that these people are getting, but you don't want to do the things that these people are doing.
And that's
you know what I'm saying. And that's where sometimes you can side with Dana. Don't get me wrong. I'm not always siding with him, but monetary wise with the fighters, that I understand, because it's like Conor's like, your opponent's changed.
Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? That's priceless, that is. You're going to pay that any money because you know if it gets to a week out of the fight, the opponent's changed. It's not, no, I'm not fighting him. I'm not risking anything. I'm not. So you want
a different weight.
So you want the high, you know what I'm saying? But you want the high risk. You want low risk with high reward.
And really, Conor's stakes are higher because of the shit he talks and the name he is.
Yeah, and the name he is at the moment. His stakes, like, this is what I think. You see this fight, going back to the fight. If it goes, I don't think Conor's going to last a 5-round mauling like the other Khabib opponents have, man.
You don't have the conditioning on Barbosa.
Michael Johnson, could Conor have 2 rounds? Say, all right, round 1 isn't like that. Say round 2 and 3 is like that.
Yeah, it's over that round.
It's over. I can't see Conor.
Do you know one thing I will say about Conor McGregor? You see, when your game plan is very predictable, when he knows exactly what you're going to do.
I'll agree with that.
He is very dangerous, man.
And I was saying this to you outside. I just said it to you and Jay outside. I literally said, when I see Conor actually actively, like, you see how he was in that interview there where he was just having a jog, he's chilling, and then he's like, where's the next fight? Where's the next fight? Oh, it's going to be in, is it going to be in Madison? And he's like, I'd love it, but I think this one deserves Vegas. He seems confident. If Conor comes into the fight like that, that's worrying for Khabib.
He was confident against Mayweather. Like, he'll be confident.
But he was selling a show.
Yeah, but he was selling a show a bit with that.
I'm
all right with that.
He's got something for Khabib. I think you dictate when somebody's going to do something. So, okay, we know Khabib is going to go for the single leg. Some point in the fight.
He's going to go for the takedown.
He's going to go for the takedown. What I feel Conor needs to do is dictate when he goes for the takedown. So with feints and towels. I mean, we was going back and forth before about whether Conor McGregor should kick in this fight. What do we think?
I don't think he should kick.
What about an oblique kick? You know, the kick to the knee.
It's true. No, the knee. You could blow his knee out. The thing is that when you miss the knee, you're not in a sprawling position. So if you do a kick and it lands wherever it lands, whatever, you're not in the position. I think for him to knock out Khabib, he needs to be mindful of the takedown and ready to boom. Obviously left hand.
Khabib rushes very well, fam. So even the kicks, like whatever. Put it this way: anybody that fights Khabib, whether it be Conor, whoever, whatever you throw has to mean something. So it's like, because you saw Barbosa. Barbosa was throwing.
Sink.
I'm telling you, and you can't just stand in front of. You can't just stand in front of Edson Barbosa like that.
You see McGregor straight down the pipe with that left.
It's got to be.
Yeah, but it has to. That's my point. It has to be that. There can't be no wasting of shots. You can't be like, I'm going to throw this big left from over here. It's gone over his head, and it's gone over his head again. Because the second time it goes over his head, you're on your back, looking up at the, at the clock, and then it's like you're not getting up for the next 4 minutes. Because I'll be honest. I think my thing is, I think Conor's takedown defense is actually a little bit better than people are giving him credit for. I think he's actually, with the Diaz thing, and when he took all that time off, I think he went and worked on a lot of the stuff that he needed to work on. But a lot of people are not giving him credit for that. So that's where I'll say, right? Because at points in the Iaquinta fight, yeah, there was points where Khabib couldn't take him down no more. There was like, he weren't just trying to Ali jab him at one point in the round. Yeah. There was a couple of times he tried to take him down and he couldn't take him down.
Iaquinta was just standing in a sprawl, taking the jabs. He was just trying to stop the
yeah, yeah, understandable. But he tried to take him down a bit before that and didn't get it. If Conor can keep it standing, I don't. Just as much as if Khabib takes him down, Conor hasn't got a chance. Yeah. I feel like it's that the other way. If they're standing with hands, I don't think that's good for Khabib at all.
I think Conor's takedown defense is good and better than what people think, but I don't think that's going to be his issue. I think it's the conditioning that it's going to take from stopping the takedown, stopping the takedown. So if Khabib could chain him and not give Conor them gaps in between chaining them. If he gives him a lot of gaps in between them and Conor can load off, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what you're saying.
There's going to be little
if
moments.
Conor, it depends on through all these chain takedowns. It depends how much damage Conor's landing on him.
Yeah.
Because Conor's like you're saying, like it's all right saying Edson's a good striker because he's a good striker and all of this, like but Conor does sleep people with these gloves on. He sleeps people, like he's done it numerous times.
I think it's not a fluke. Khabib, like the difference was
you can hurt him.
But
I'll say that from that. You can hurt him.
To what extent? Because as soon as he hit Eddie Alvarez, he didn't know what fucking planet he was on, mind my language. But when he hit Diaz, it was a completely different story. So where are we here? Because if he hits Khabib, Khabib's game plan might go out.
I just think mentally Diaz was more durable in the fight than Alvarez was, because if I looked at that, don't get me wrong,
Alvarez
he planted.
He did Alvarez like a boxer,
but you know, the last knockdown. Did you see how quick he took his gum shield out? If you're clean out, you're not drawing for your gum shield straight away. Like he took it out fully consciously, took it out. You can see it. Like he took harder shots in the fight. I think.
He didn't go on like Joseph Parker the other day.
Nah. Against it, like putting it all in.
But he got his jaw spun once. That's that's where you could quit. And if he quit then, and no one would ever have known, you would have just thought, what a great.
I just think to fight Nate Diaz, to beat him, bruv, you have to he's one of them. You know, you say some people you have to kill him, you have to knock him out, you have to do that, you have to submit him, you have to. You have to end the fight with Nate Diaz. That's what I think of. I think Eddie Alvarez, like, he got embarrassed horribly. Like, he didn't win. No. I didn't see him win 5 seconds of any of the
shots
fight.
Coming. It was just one of them things. He didn't see any of the shots coming. He wasn't prepared for any of the shots.
Yeah, that's all right for us. That's not all right for him, though. Fighting for the world title, and that's what you've dedicated your life to.
Nor did Brimage. And Brimage got his ass kicked, but he was still trying to, he knew what is going on. You see
until he was out.
Eddie didn't do himself, this underground king and that reputation he had. That took a dent, and it still stayed with him, even though he's had some good fights since.
Like what we just had the weekend. I've been calling Poirier for how long? Because he was running from him. He didn't want to fight. It's like what you said. That fight there took the whole edge off Eddie Alvarez for me. Yeah, right.
And both of these people have been just ran through by Conor McGregor. Yeah.
What do you think of Liam Poirier and that decides who fights? Because at the moment, you see, before this fight,
I'd go for
you see before this fight, before the Poirier fight, there was arguments that Poirier could get the next fight before this Alvarez fight was made, and there was arguments for Lee. Yeah. So right now, if we're gonna have Khabib and Conor, if you want your next contender after that,
you need them to fight
Poirier and Lee. That's what I think's a good fight.
Yeah, I think Lee's a part of the new school, and like Dustin Poirier and Eddie Alvarez and even
I think Poirier's stand-ups a little better than what we're giving it.
It's good, but I just feel like Kevin Lee's more slick. He's more of the new school.
He's all round.
Yeah,
I'd give it that.
But he's very good all rounded as well.
But what I will say, is if he can't take Poirier down, which he may struggle to do, because Poirier isn't the worst of wrestlers, is he?
No, but he's only struggled to take a man down when he gets tired.
And he gets tired.
That's
what he definitely does.
He does get tired, but when he's fit, he's taking you down.
He took down
Barbosa and got into a more dominant position.
But you know what he's got?
Quicker, but he used more energy, and which is why
he's got that attitude of I want to. Like he wanted to stand with Barbosa a bit as well and stuff like that. I don't think that's a good idea with people with hands. It's easier with people with kicks because there's a range that you can smother if you stay a bit closer. Yeah. With hands, like if I stay basically here by your chest, you can't throw a kick and knock me out. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be you know, a kick we haven't saw.
Everybody's
but with your hand,
with
all you need, like Miocic with Verdum, it's just a little punch. It's not really a bringing it back here. It's just a little punch. That's
heavyweight
all you
style,
need.
man. It's a whole different.
What do you reckon? Then
Conor with
Kevin Lee's your
Aldo?
boy.
Say again.
Kevin Lee's your boy.
I'm gonna go
but
for Kevin Lee early doors against. Like I said,
I don't know about early
I feel
doors.
like it's the new school versus the old school.
if he can make weight, I think. Now I think if he can't make weight again, I think they really need to do. I think they're gonna do the 165 weight class, and I think Khabib's gonna go there because there should be one every £10.
I know what you're saying.
There should be one every £10.
Well, just go up then, fam.
No, but 170
At the moment, go up, fam. If you're gonna keep not making the weight, go up then.
Sorry to cut you, boys. We're dying for time here. I'm gonna bring us on to the next subject. Now, this fight. Now, I feel like this is one of the most underrated fights ever because I feel like literally stylistically is one of the best fights ever.
Mad.
TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt.
No
like,
love.
I cannot believe how good this fight is, and people don't go mad for it.
And we're getting a second one.
It's getting the
That's
second
mazza.
one. Like
That's
these
the
two
mazza.
literally beat each other last time because obviously Cody Garbrandt dropped him at the end of the first. And then, obviously, TJ Dillashaw finished him in the second round in an exchange where it looked like anybody could have got the better of
Where
that
before the fight, I would have thought at that point, in that exchange, Cody has the advantage.
Yeah.
I thought if they're swinging hook for hook, I thought it'd be Dillashaw going to sleep.
Yeah, but it's not.
No, it was more than that. Obviously, there was more than that. Yeah.
And again, going into
Just
this
the
fight,
result,
my thing is TJ's just got. It hurts to say it, right?
Say it.
Killashaw's just got too many things in the locker.
But
honestly,
I will back
honestly.
Garbrandt is naturally better. I mean, naturally faster, naturally stronger. He's
with
faster.
his hands,
And he's
with
got
his
a
hands. With his hands, I'd say
obviously, we didn't see them. We didn't even see them wrestle. There was no wrestling.
I don't know about the wrestling between the two of them yet. But in the last fight when I was watching it, I think it was 2 days ago, I think one of the commentators said TJ hasn't gone for takedowns, so they'd assume that TJ would be the one trying to initiate the wrestling, the takedowns, etc. I just think he's got too much for him. The only thing that Cody has got over him is the right hand. What have we saw Cody produce? And this is like I was watching is it Inside the Octagon?
Dan Hardy.
Yeah, I was watching Inside the Octagon and he kind of reaffirmed what I thought. His whole everything Cody throws is all a smoke screen, just to lure you into the right hand. Now, is that gonna be enough to lure TJ Dillashaw?
It's a predictable move, but if your predictable move is very, very good. It's
understandable.
Yeah.
You see that with like the Mark Hunts, the Country Nelsons. You know, they just had the right hand, the power shots.
And there's not been one person that Cody's fought that ain't felt the right hand. Yeah. He's actually wobbled everyone that he's punched.
Understandable, but then, like I say, with right now, I can hit you with my hands, yeah, right. But if you've got good kicks, you can hit me from a range that my hands, I'm not going to be able to touch her. Yeah. And I think that is just his downfall. TJ is going to be able to do this. He's going to be able to throw hands with him, which is why I feel like he won with the hands last time. If he was just strictly throwing hands, he wouldn't have won that fight. It was because he was throwing kicks, and he's got the option of the takedowns. He's got the option of trying to take him down, throwing a kick, and using hands. That's what Cody's got to deal with every time Dillashaw's in range. Whereas Dillashaw only has to deal with the fact of, even if he throws a kick, he knows it's not going to be that much of a serious kick unless, like what we were saying, because we saw him working on kicks, unless he's worked on his kicks.
Sorry to just cut in, like you said, I think going back, he says that TJ has got too much for Cody.
Too much, too many different...
Too many.
Yeah, too many different things.
In the first round,
too many
I
different
don't
things.
think I seen one authoritative shot land on Cody.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think I seen one.
But he took his best.
Everything he was throwing.
That was his best. You see that, what he threw? There was a whole lot in that right hand.
He didn't take it. He was on his off.
Nah,
he was walking back to the... He was walking back to the...
Yeah, but he came... But you only get 1 minute, and a minute later, he came back and turned around the whole fight.
Yeah.
And a fighter
how much is that to do?
A fighter that relies on angles, footwork and everything usually takes some time to read someone. Someone like a Lomachenko or Floyd Mayweather or Anderson Silva. The first rounds never really looked that good. You always think, the next man's got him half. and then boom, they work out and then that's what it is. The biggest difference for me in this fight, and why I think Dillashaw wins and why he wins the last fight, fam, is Dwayne Ludwig. Because he's with all them tools he's got.
It's a shame Garbrandt ain't got him.
And I don't think,
it's a shame McGregor ain't got him.
Yeah, because I don't think that TJ's intelligent enough to do all them things on his own, but the angles and the pattern of the right hand and everything, Ludwig's able to work that out.
Ludwig saw something.
That's why they hated it. That's why they hated it, because he was an alpha male as well.
He's going to give him 2 hours and have that over him for the rest.
That's what I think.
That can be. That is.
You know
that
what?
is possible.
Heartbreaking.
You know what?
It's actually heartbreaking.
He never had respect.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Yo, Dillashaw had a you 1 month before.
Yeah, nah, serious, nah.
Yeah, he's got a son too.
Cody's my Donny, fam.
He's got a son too, bro.
Nah, it's hurting.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the
fuck? 5 times.
JK.
Dillashaws gonna
watch him, man. Because I'll fix you like I did in Bradley. Bradley won't be here to save you next time.
With the Musashi.
I can't remember.
Rubber guard. I had him in the rubber guard. That's all.
Controversial decision. Watch you, man.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, me and you had a debate last time about the positioning of Garbrandt when he was exchanging in the pocket with TJ Dillashaw. And what I wanted to touch on was, you know, some people, when they master the fundamentals of something, they don't have to abide by that code anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like some of the world's greatest boxers that we've seen, like your Roy Jones Jr.'s. I'm gonna throw Nassim in there and stuff. They
break
like that.
rules.
They break rules.
Yeah. Tyson Fury.
I'm gonna be generous by throwing Nassim in there, but you know what I mean? Like these type of boxers, they all know the fundamentals, but some of them ignore them. Like the whole positioning with the feet was a trait that was taught to actual Mike Tyson by the late great CODY Yamato, saying basically if you stand square on, it helps you to deliver fast and strong hooks, but it relies heavily on head movement.
But when you square up, whatever I've learnt about boxing, when you square your feet up, that's when you're at your most vulnerable. Because remember when I what you said to you, it's like what my dad taught me from young. You have your balance, stand in your boxing stance and take a push. Whereas stand flat-footed on your feet and you go in, which is what kind of happens. And what happens to people when they forget the basics like that is what happened to Cody that day. If you know what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I totally understand what you're saying. Greats can take a lot more risks, and pay for it a lot less. But it doesn't mean that you don't pay for it. And that's exactly what happened in that moment. He threw. They're both. Because they're both threw the shot, but his feet is not in the right position. So if your feet are not in the right position and his, even if you both land perfect, his one's gonna be.
Garbrandt never gave TJ Dillashaw the respect through the whole thing.
And I felt that.
No. Do you know what I think happened? I think the knockdown was the worst thing for him because it relaxed him too much. It made him too overconfident. It gave him that Dominic Cruz edge where he's giving it the dance and all of that. Whereas against TJ, don't try and be like that, because this is what I said to you. I don't think Dominic Cruz would ever be Garbrandt. I just don't think his skill set isn't.
It matches up.
It matches up horrible, because all Cody ever has to do is just wait for him.
Respects Dominic Cruz, but he hates him, but he still respects him because he's looked up to him for his whole career. He's been chasing after Dominic Cruz. TJ Dillashaw.
It's not personal with Dominic.
TJ Dillashaw is an achievement. Every one of alpha males been like, oh, Garbrandt, you're the best. Garbrandt, you're the best. And then you got Dwayne Ludwig coming in and going, I reckon you're the best, TJ. Yeah. And this is what's happened. He's saying, I reckon you're the best, TJ. And obviously, that's fed TJ. TJ, I don't have to stand and be this guy's second. I can go and do my own saga. So Cody Garbrandt's already got this in his mind. I'm the best around. We already know this. I've dropped you in sparring. Everybody.
And I've beat Dominic Cruz.
Who you lost to, but it was very debatable. A lot of people say that it could have went
very close.
Very close fight. So once TJ hurt Cody didn't have that frame of mind like, shit, I've just been hurt, you know what I mean? He was like, no, I've got to get back one over you. I can't even let you win this round. Not for one more second. And that was it.
I think him hurting TJ was detrimental to him in the fight.
Definitely.
Because it, like you say, don't get me wrong, he could have finished him in them last 10 seconds. But as you know, like the more and more you watch boxing, the more and more you watch fighting, anybody that takes a serious shot that drops him, it's about your recovery.
Yeah. Your legs.
It's about your legs, your recovery. Sometimes,
have great recovery.
You know, an example, Joshua. When Joshua tends to take a good shot, he doesn't recover for 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Like, you see a slower, sluggish, looking more tired Joshua. Like,
but that's what's making him weak, because he understands and accepts it. I'm losing, and that's what happened with Klitschko. I'm losing, and I'm gonna lose for these 2 rounds.
That's game plan.
TJ had Cody, and Cody never had none of that in him. He was spiteful. He was like, nope, I'm not letting you do this.
But I don't think Cody's got the mentality to beat. I just don't think he can beat him. That's the honest truth. Sorry, that's wrong. No. He can beat him. Sorry, I don't think he will beat him. I think if they fought 10 times, 8 times Dillashaw would win at least. I think at least.
That was by a whisker. Even in the last exchange,
I think it was coming. I think at that point when I was watching it after the head kick, because I was like, yo, what's happening? It's like it was inevitable.
It wasn't a lucky shot.
It was inevitable. I think at that point, both of them, it was like it's funny how Dan Hardy was breaking it down, because it was like the exact same thing that happened with him and Carlos Condit. They both swung, and one just caught the other person.
It was more than that.
Obviously, he was winning before anyway.
But he started to have his number.
All right then. If you're saying to me
and TJ's been dropped, and I'm like, oh shit, Cody's gonna win. He's done it. He's fucking done it. What the fuck?
So Cody was dominant in round 1.
Yeah.
TJ was dominant in round 2. Fam, he dropped him with a head kick, and even when he dropped him, I showed it. You saw the calmness of him. Just throwing the throwaway hooks. It's like the hooks. It's the hooks where if you rocked and the touch they're not feeling good. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you miss with one of them, you're not out of position. Which he was never out of position. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
It's gonna be a great fight. We'll just have to wait and see.
That's just my opinion, though. I think if they fight 10 times, 8 times Dillashaw, 2 times Cody.
We will see. We will see on Saturday.
Predictions now then.
You know what? You know what? Cody Garbrandt knockout in the first round, mate. Fallarala is gonna finish him.
Ooh, I'm going for TJ third.
I'm gonna go for TJ to stop him.
Surprise, surprise.